Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reducing Your Stress and Anxiety Through a Yoga Practice. So let's all find a comfortable spot on the mat. You can stay seated or you can lie down. I always suggest lying down if your purpose for coming to yoga is to reduce your stress and anxiety. Lying down allows you to send strong signals to your body that it's time for it to relax and release. What you want to start feeling in your body is the tissues against the floor getting heavier and heavier. Feel the top part of your body sinking more into the bottom part of your body. And being comfortable is 100% the goal here. So any adjustment you might need to make to get completely comfortable, you should make. I do recommend that people stay on their back though. This keeps your spine in a neutral position and begins immediately the process of your bones being in alignment with each other. Some things, of course, aren't easily fixed. So if you have been diagnosed with any kind of spine issue, and you know how to modify that, what position to be in, please do. This is probably the 8th or 9th class in a series, lesson number 9, I believe. And today I'll focus on the anatomy of the mind and chakra balancing in class. I like to use yin in combination with students who are looking to reduce their stress and anxiety, because often when we are trying to do some of the poses that require more constant strength, we begin to compare ourselves with one another. And as we've learned, comparison does steal a lot of our joy when we're in the mindset that we have to be like so-and-so or be like the mainstream population. So the anatomy of mind in yin yoga. Let's begin to focus for just a moment on the breath. Hopefully your eyes are closed. Draw your attention inside of your body. As we practice yin poses today, we will begin each pose aligning our attention with the breath. And then for the last few moments in each pose, we'll relax into a non-interfering meditative awareness. We'll begin our practice with some focused attention on the breath to deepen our concentration, making it easier for our thoughts to subside. When we can come to a point of resting in a non-stressful mental state, our energy body rebalances naturally. As our energy harmonizes, not only do our bodies open more easily, but our minds settle into an effortless, contemplative repose, paving the way for meditative insight to occur. Let's begin practicing belly breath today. Letting the next breath in draw its way deep into the abdomen. Find yourself lifting your belly, feeling it expand and move outward away from the spine or upward. Feel the tightening as the inhale changes to an exhale. And keep using your diaphragm here to lift and lower the abdomen. With these belly breaths. When we practice pranayama, just as you're doing now in yin yoga, we are using our natural intelligence to focus on our breath and mobilize the distribution of energy or prana throughout our body. We practice pranayama, which is an enhanced discipline that involves 3 aspects: inhalation, exhalation, and the gap between, or the suspension of the breath. By varying our respiration and holding our breath, we enhance the quality and the motility of prana within. Let your belly breath ease. Set it aside. Let your body naturally find once again its own automatic rhythm. Today's practice is going to be a chakra balancing class, because when our energy is imbalanced, our prana is dissipated and weak. This often results in unpredictable and dissonant emotions that leak out in uncontrolled, chaotic ways. As a yogi, on the other hand, we want to be someone whose prana or energy is contained within the center of her body, her emotional life rich, her mind clear. In pranayama, we attempt to reduce the amount of energy that leaks out and enliven the quality of energy that exists within us. When we concentrate on using our breath to balance the subtle or energy body, there's a unifying effect on our overall state of being. This is the way it helps reduce our stress and anxiety. When we align our minds with our breaths, we can experience relaxed alertness in the energy body and mind, which is a state that has extremely therapeutic effects on the body. And the key ingredient is attention. Pranayama is therefore a wonderful practice to sequence along with yin yoga, tethering the mind and the energy within the body. Let's move now into our first shape. The first 3 shapes in our class today will enhance the lower chakras. Come into a pose where you're on your spine, lying down supine, and gently begin to bend both knees out to the side, bringing the soles of the feet together, toes pressing into toes, heels pressing into heels. Perhaps blocks underneath each knee or underneath each thigh, placed in whatever shape or direction works for you and your body. Finding the time, making the time to explore, to see how the shape can be made comfortable for you. That's the first step to being in a yin pose. The second step is holding the position you've chosen The third step is staying still throughout. We'll hold each pose for 3 minutes. And when there's about a minute left, I'll say, let the next breath be a little deeper. You can keep your eyes closed throughout this practice, where we'll be holding longer poses. That's the yin part. And we'll come into a meditative state as we learn about each chakra and as we balance the energy within us. The first chakra is Muladhara. Mula means root and Hara means base. The Muladhara is located near the perineum. It's our pelvic floor. It relates to our dormant inner power, known as Kundalini, the sleeping serpent at the base of our spine. And when this dormant inner power begins to awaken, the force is referred to as Shakti, which is the feminine source energy of all natural, universal, evolutionary processes. This relates to our sense of security, our maternal drive and elimination. It's related to the kidney, the urinary bladder, and the small intestine meridians. Bring your attention to guiding each inhale down your body from your chest to your perineum or pelvic floor, while bringing each exhalation back up to your chest. Decide if you need to spend more time focusing on issues related to releasing, eliminating, and feeling grounded, focusing on this first chakra at your perineum. We'll let the next breath roll in a little more deeply. Continuing to focus on your breathing and on moving your awareness up and down. Each inhale moves your awareness down. Each exhale moves your awareness up. And now, begin to think first about how you're going to move. Either coming into another resting position, such as corpse or constructive rest, knees bent to the sky, feet on the floor. And then move in that manner. Come slowly out of the pose. Perhaps you want to stay in stillness. Perhaps you'd like to move with windshield wipers or knees into the chest in between these poses. Help make yoga your own. Give your body and your mind what you need. Resting here for just a few more moments. Take 3 more breaths. Next, we'll come into shoelace pose. Let's bend up through each knee if your legs are straight, feet pressing into the floor. You can either draw both your knees in towards your chest, and as you do, cross your thigh and knee from one side to the other. Maybe the right goes over the left, maybe the left goes over the right first. Doesn't matter which way you've done it. We'll keep our feet up off the floor if we can. We might use a strap to hold our legs here. We might bring our hands to our knees, follow them along the shin bone to grab the lower legs, the ankles, the heels. I'm just drawing the feet to the hips. That's where you'll find the stretch here. Once you've explored, settling in, coming to stillness. Our next chakra is Svadhisthana. Svadhisthana literally means one's own abode. This chakra is located above and behind the sacral region, and it relates to our sensual and sexual drives, our unconscious material, as well as the collective unconscious. It governs all reproductive issues, intuition, and the kidney, urinary bladder, and small intestine meridians and their functions. So perhaps you focus on reproductive issues or intuition here. Letting each inhale move your awareness down your body from your chest to your pelvic floor, while bringing the exhale back up into the chest from the pelvis. Perhaps bringing your awareness to your sacral region for these last few breaths. And now let your next exhale release your body a little more in the pose, lengthening it. Once again, we'll first think about how we're going to move our bodies slowly and carefully to release tension. And then we'll move into constructive rest with the knees bent to the sky, feet wide towards the edges of the mat, or legs extended and lengthened in corpse pose, toes released out to the side, perhaps even keeping the body in movement, windshield wipering, knees to chest rocking. Notice what your body's feeling, what you're experiencing, what thoughts are popping into your head. Staying focused on the breath and on one's own abode. Take 3 more breaths here. Our next shape is the last lower chakra enhancement. And we'll come into shoelace on the opposite side. This time, opposite thigh and knee crosses over. We'll use our strap to hold our legs, or we'll use our hands. We'll explore to find a comfortable place before we hold, finding stillness in the pose. Our next chakra, moving up the spine. This center of energy is Manipura. Manipura means filled with jewels. This chakra is located behind the navel. It corresponds to our solar plexus. This area houses the seat of our willpower, our creative energy, our imagination, and our digestion. It rules our digestive meridians, including those of the stomach, the spleen, the liver, and the gallbladder. Once again, bring your attention to guiding each inhalation down your body from your chest towards your perineum, while bringing the exhalation back up to your chest. Perhaps your thoughts can move to any digestive or energetic or creative concerns, focusing on the third chakra behind your navel. Let the next breath in be a little deeper, more full. Once again, we'll begin to think about how we're going to move slowly and carefully to come out of this pose first. Visualize ourselves doing that, and then execute that same movement and motion that we're imagining, visualizing, and coming into a comfortable resting pose, corpse, constructive rest. Whatever works for you and your body. Take 3 more breaths here. We'll come into our next shape through a seated position. So visualize yourself. Think about how you're going to get over onto one side of your body with stacked hips and shoulders, and then go ahead and carefully and slowly move your body toward that position. Once you're here, press down through your top palm, placing it somewhat in front of your shoulders, and extend the top leg. We'll come up to our highest position of our practice. We're going to sit in one of three different ways. We can sit in with our knees straight in staff pose, and we'll come into caterpillar with a forward fold. We can come into seated butterfly, and we'll come into a bound angle here with a forward fold, holding on to our legs or feet. Or we can be in easy pose and come into a forward fold. So first, choose how your base is going to be shaped and positioned. Then see if you can release your arms down by your side. If you need your hands to support your body, you could just stay here. Otherwise, let an inhale lift the arms and hands up overhead. And as you exhale, the chest releases forward. The hands come down quite quickly. And we'll just roll the spine, curving the shoulders, dropping the crown of the head, feeling the lower part of our body pressing into the floor, maybe even feeling the extension or the lengthening of the legs from the hips to the heels. And this position, we're going to think about the energy center surrounding the heart, the Anahata chakra. Anahata means unbroken. This chakra is located to the right of the physical heart, and it relates to our drive for love and compassion, our circulatory system, and our sense of touch. It rules the heart and the tissue of fascia surrounding the heart called the pericardium, meridians. It rules the heart and pericardium meridians. Bringing your attention to guiding each inhale down your body from your chest toward your hips or pelvic floor, while bringing the exhalation back up to your chest. Perhaps here you'll focus more on issues related to the circulatory system, or perhaps feelings of love or wounded love, depression, lack of warmth, or hatred. Making sure you don't leave the neck in a position if it becomes uncomfortable here. Perhaps using blocks to prop up elbows, letting hands and palms prop up the jaw, cupping or holding the head, giving it support if needed. Letting the next inhalation be a little deeper, a little slower. And now, once again, visualize how you're going to slowly and carefully move out of this yin pose first. And as you're ready, let the inhale lift your chin away from your chest, lift your chest away from your legs. And we're going to come directly back onto the spine, laying down in either corpse pose or in constructive rest once again. Take 3 more breaths here. For our next pose, we'll need to get onto our bellies. So first, visualize how you're going to move slowly and carefully to come onto your stomach, and then begin to move in that manner. Let your body slowly, carefully, and safely adjust. We'll come up onto our elbows, palms face down on the floor and directly in front of our elbows, wrists in alignment with elbows in alignment with the shoulders, except we want the elbows to be a little forward. They're left and right, equal distance as the shoulders, but they're a little bit forward, or perhaps a lot forward, depending on what's happening with your spine and how intense this is on your spine. We don't want a very intense feeling for that amount of time. So do explore before you find your position here in Sphinx. Creating a heaviness from the hips to the tops of the feet, a lift through the crown of the head, from wherever the body is grounded in the abdomen, through and in front of the chest up to the shoulders. We are now at the chakra Vishuddhi. Vishuddhi, means to purify. This chakra is located at the throat, and it relates to our spiritual drive, our ability to communicate, and our respiratory system. It rules the lung meridian. So while in Sphinx pose, bring your attention to guiding the inhalation down your body toward your perineum and to bring the exhalation back up to your chest. Decide if you need to focus on your respiratory system and or perhaps feelings of uncertainty in your spiritual life and or communication issues. Focusing on the fifth chakra at your throat. Here in Sphinx pose. Let your next breath in be a little deeper. And once again, let's visualize ourselves coming out of Sphinx, moving into crocodile as we work our elbows out to the side, stack our palms, and rest our forehead on the top hand. Perhaps focusing at the throat, or keeping the awareness on the movement through the spine, from the chest to the tailbone on the inhale, and from the tailbone or the pelvic floor to the chest on the exhale. Our next pose or shape involves using a block at the lowest level and setting it so that it's just at the top of our back where our shoulders come off to the side, down to towards the bottom of the rib cage. We can lay it at this lowest level. We want to be able to put the top of the head or the back of the head on the floor. Our neck and throat should be in a comfortable position. And we can inhale and draw our arms out wide to the sides, keeping the elbows straight or perhaps bending them. You might want to try the block at the middle level. If you're used to doing fish, which is what this yin pose is, you can keep your knees bent and have your legs in constructive rest. You could even use a block at its lowest level to rest your head. Lots of variation here. While in fish pose, let's focus on the anja, Sorry, I said that wrong. It's Ajna, the Ajna chakra. Ajna means to know, and it is located in the brain core midway between our eyebrows. It's often called the third eye, this energy center. And it relates to our intelligence, our insight, and our clarity, our autonomic nervous system, and our hormonal systems. It governs the governor vessel and urinary bladder meridians. Focus on the sixth chakra between your eyes, and your awareness might be drawn to hormonal issues, bladder dysfunction, or lack of alertness, clarity, or insight. As the next breath rolls in, let it be a little longer, a little more full. Once again, you'll visualize yourself coming out of this pose safely. I recommend rolling off of both blocks or the one block, depending on how you set your fish pose up. Coming down onto your spine with a blanket or folded towel underneath the head. And let's arrange ourselves into a resting position. Perhaps it's corpse pose for you. Sometimes with our legs extended, our spine, the lumbar part starts to feel a twinge of tightness. If you're feeling that, bend up through both knees, place your feet wide on the floor towards the edge of the mat, perhaps with a block or right in between the knees, maybe a blanket. Our last upper chakra enhancement is Sahasrara. I did not say that right. I apologize. Sahasrara. Sahasrara means thousand-petaled lotus. It's located at the crown of the head, and it governs our cerebral cortex, our entire nervous system, and the organs and the tissues of our entire body. It also relates to a highly refined quality of mind, resting in a non-dual consciousness known as one taste. It is not simply connected to specific meridians, it's connected to all of them. Continue breathing with your attention on the inhale, traveling down from your chest to your pelvic floor as you've been doing. And then exhaling with your awareness moving from your perineum to your chest again. As we continue in our final Shavasana, we can proceed from a kind of focusing with our pranayama concentrated into various parts of the body, helping these areas rebalance, to a more relaxed kind of concentration. With a relaxed concentration, a mental equilibrium is achieved that has an immediate harmonizing effect on the energy and the emotional body. Here, where nothing need be added or corrected, this refined quality of attention causes three distinct changes in us. The first is that our fragmented, distracted habits of mind begin to lessen and diminish. This helps us more clearly understand ourselves and others with greater honesty. The second effect is that our more negative afflictions or our aggressive afflictions begin to diffuse, changing our behavior patterns. We're not suppressing them, but we're viewing them with an inquisitive attitude of interest and inclusion. Third, our essential or authentic nature becomes revealed and accessible, disentangled from our more reactive patterns in our personality. And what shines through is our inherent open dimension of being. Allow your attention to remain aware yet relaxed. Focus perhaps on particular sensations in the body. Maybe feelings or thoughts in your mind. Perhaps sound you're hearing or temperature in the room. None of these interfering or becoming anything that is really noticed. Remaining still in this resting state. Trying to increase our willingness to experience this moment without psychological resistance. Now let your attention go wherever the sensation is the strongest and observe it fully here for a few breaths. Working on focusing our mind and concentrating on our breath allows us to find peace away from our anxiety and our stress. Peace of mind breaks in the patterns of behavior, breaks in the tapes that play on in our heads. Untrue thoughts. We'll learn about innocent misunderstandings and how we can kind of brush off times when we might have gotten attached to behaviors based on frustrations. Again, those negative or aggressive thoughts and feelings. Take 3 more breaths lying here on your mat. Relaxed, calm. And then as you're ready, begin to rock your head from left to right, slowly moving your chin back and forth. Letting this movement in the body start small and grow. We'll bring our chin back to center. And in the same way you visualized yourself rolling over onto one side before, move your body in that same slow, careful way to stack your hips and shoulders momentarily before pressing yourself up away from the floor, bringing yourself into any comfortable seated position first, then extending and relaxing your arms out to the side. We'll inhale, lifting the arms forward and up or out to the sides and up. We'll bring our palms together right up over our head. Exhale, letting your hands float down to your heart center. Close down the eyes. Let the next exhale release your chin towards your chest as you bow to the divine within. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Let your next inhale lift your chin back to neutral. Slowly flutter open your eyes. Focus your gaze. Release your hands. And thank you all so much for joining me today in a stress and anxiety reducing practice. I hope you have a great rest of your week. See you next time. Take care.